overall, I thought a good team performance. We have a special group when it comes to this competition. You know, as a club, we take it very serious. Only disappointing part of the night is that we didn't get a third goal to kind of kill the game off with the amount of chances that we created. I think you see a team now that defensively the whole group presses together. I think we're a very good team in possession. I think you saw some of our composure, passing out of tight spots. The one thing we are lacking is that killer instinct in front of goal. We create a ton of chances, and tonight should be a night where we have a fun time and we kind of can celebrate a little earlier than we did. We made it interesting, let a good Red Bull team get back into the game on a silly play. I have to say, Ali Bedoya's game and Harris Medunjanin's game were at a very high level. I think that Ali's ability to dribble out of a tight spot kind of throws Red Bull's press off, the way they fly at you. Just his composure to beat the first guy on the dribble had them scrambling a bit, and we were able to play out of some tight spots. But overall, a very good win against a very good team. Survive and advance mentality now. We have a home game in our stadium, and we're 3 wins away from a trophy, which is something to be proud of. Still need to find ways to finish all these chances that we're creating as a team, though.
Jonathan?
What was your guess coming into the night on when you'd see Bradley Wright Phillips, and where you had to get the game to before he came in?
Yeah, so we knew that they were on 5 games in 13-day stretch. We had a similar stretch ourselves earlier. We won the opportunity to host this game, which is always a big factor when it comes to Open Cup. I think our fans were excellent tonight. But yeah, once you see he's not in the starting lineup, he's coming in, and he's a guy that changes the game instantly. And that's what he did. He's a top striker in our league. They need one chance and they score. So it's something that a learning moment for our center backs who got split tonight by him. He's one of the best to do it, so I think you have to learn from it. But at the same time, him and Royer, as soon as we saw the team sheet come out, they were going to play a big role in the game, and you thought instantly at the latest 60th minute when they come in, probably 50, 58, 56 or something, but just because we got the goal. So overall, happy, but yeah, Wright Phillips, he knew was coming at some point, and he's a top striker. So made it a lot more interesting than we probably needed to. But a great team goal, the second goal. When you really watch that one back, that's about as good a goal as we could score. So happy there.
Right.
Jim, after the second goal, Corey gets that, you seemed really demonstrative on the sidelines. Was it because of the way that the goal was, or that Corey finally breaks through? And I think what was the 6th shot?
Yeah, it's more the quality of the goal. When you see something like that, it's something you work on as a team to possess the ball, to stay calm under pressure against a high pressing team. When that happens, I think there's different kinds of goals. There's the ugly ones that penalty kicks or deflections that maybe, and that one was a true team goal. If you really watch that one back, all the things that guys did is exactly what we work on and ask of them in training. So yeah, when it comes out, maybe there's a little something more from the staff. It gets us excited. Harris scored a heck of a goal himself too, but I thought the second one was special. So that's maybe why you see the reaction. It's great for Corey to score. Probably could have had. It's a night where he could have had 4 or 5 goals. But to his credit to him, he kept going. He created the chances that he created. Thought he had a penalty kick call maybe in the first half. No VAR in the old Open Cup, so we'll never know. But happy for Corey. You can't fault the kid for the amount of work he puts in for the team. I think he stuck at it, got us a second goal. But again, the amount of breakaways we seem to have almost from full field, we have to have a more of a killer instinct and score more goals.
Joe from the right.
Jim, follow up on that with Corey. I think this is one change, but he seems like he's right back in position.
Yeah.
I know obviously the finishing you want to improve, but to have that persistence, and even in the last couple minutes, holding the field, pressing on stuff, how important is it to have someone so active before you go top?
It's great. It's a credit to the work he's done for years at Bethlehem Steel, the time he put in there to work hard, to maintain his fitness now so that when we go out into a game like this, he can really, quite literally empty his tank to the point where his body shut down at the end of the game. So he almost made it to 90 minutes tonight. We prefer that, but he cramped up because he emptied his tank, and that's all you can ask of a guy. The amount of times he makes it difficult on Parker and Colin in the back there and just kind of wears them down over time. I think that's the reason you saw him have the space he had to get the goal. He stayed right off the shoulder in the blind spot, and that kind of like a boxer over time, the punches that these guys take over and over, and the runs that Corey's willing to make wear people down, and eventually he got that second goal.
Nick.
You spoke about Ali's return to the field. What's it mean for his teammates to have the captain back on the field?
Yeah, it's always important to have your leaders out on the field. I thought him and Harris and Borak in the middle, especially in the first half, really controlled the tempo of the game. He's an important piece for us. And again, the incident in Atlanta is difficult because it kind of makes it disjointed for him. We lose him in a big Toronto game, but if you really look at Ali's body of work, he's having his best season in any Union shirt. I believe that. I think he's playing at his highest level for us. He's taken a bigger leadership role. Tonight was an excellent game from him. And I say it to you guys all the time, our team will go as our central midfield goes. When they're on the ball a lot and we do a good job of putting them on the ball, that's kind of how our system's set up to have success. And when we do that, we're a darn good team. And it starts with Ali, our captain.
Back to John.
Pulled board for defensive purposes.
Yeah.
You were able to get the comment late, I bring both those names up because they're both very good penalty kick takers. Did you have to think about it a little bit?
You always have to think about that. You want to be proactive with your subs in this competition because you don't want to go to the 120 minutes, but at the same time, you have to at least be prepared and not burn all your subs, knowing that there is the potential for a 120-minute game. You have to really be communicating with your guys when they come over for water. How are they feeling? Can they finish? Elsinho had a little tweak in the first half, so we probably made that one even earlier than we wanted to. But in this competition, you have substitutions and the timing and recognizing who can take a penalty kick, who's good under pressure. All that factors in. And then you have a perfect plan in place, and then someone cramps up. So it can change fast. I was worried then. You saw Ali go down, and you're starting to think, hopefully that's just a cramp and he can get through it. And you have the doubt that maybe we burned that last sub too soon. So got through it. These games are always crazy in the Open Cup, especially with Red Bull. Happy to come out on top, and I think our players deserve a lot of credit for the work that they put in.
We'll go to Dave, then John.
How does it feel to finally get revenge against the Red Bulls in the Open Cup from last year's performance, and how do you build off of this as you already play Vancouver next week?
Yeah, I mean, we've beat them a couple times in the Open Cup too, so it's been back and forth for sure. Penalty kicks are usually in play when we get together, so I'm happy that they weren't today. You take a little less mileage off guys' legs and get it done in regulation, which was important. But yeah, listen, it's a rivalry game. I've said it 1,000 times. Our staffs know each other very well. Our teams know each other very well. And I think it leads to good competitive soccer games. And there's a heck of a lot of good players on the field, a lot of good plays, good goals tonight, an exciting game. And happy that we came out on top.
Joe, and then one more.
You know, it's a tough assignment. Even you guys know how Red Bulls play. From your perspective, what was your kind of assessment about Austin and Mark? How handle things tonight?
Oh, not great. It wasn't their best night in terms of sliding, covering for each other. I don't think they were on the same page tonight, but at the same time, they're young. I think they made some really good plays. I think they made some composed plays. But as a center back, you can play good for 89 and a half minutes, and if you get split like they did, again, Kaku finds a great spot, plays a good ball, it's a top striker, but it's still pros, so we're going to hold them to that high standard, and we know they can handle that situation. So to give up a goal like that in that moment, I think was difficult. I give them a lot of credit for their growth and sticking with it. I don't think it was either their sharpest game, but maybe I'm critical and too hard on them because I see so much talent in them. I know where they can go, where they can be, and that's what Ernie and I want for them. We want them to be playing in Europe, and tonight wasn't a European type performance from either of them. And that's just the blunt, honest truth. And I know they'll bounce back against Vancouver because we believe in them. I believe in the two 19-year-olds, and there are going to be mistakes. If you think of some plays tonight, we could have been punished a couple more times. I know that they'll bounce back and they'll play against Kai Kamara against Vancouver, and they'll play a great game for us. But overall, not their best, but they stuck with it, gave up one goal, and we hung on. So even in these moments, they're growing and they're learning, because it's hard to close out games when it gets nuts and there's pressure, and now You're making a last-second clearance, so there's some really good individual plays, but center backs are remembered for the complete 90 minutes.
And last one, Adam.
Can you talk a little bit about what Harris brought to the team tonight? It seemed like he was very amped up for this one.
Yeah, he's again having a really good year. A guy who can control the game with his passing ability. The things that he makes look so easy, even off of fouls, when he casually hits a 60-yard ball directly to Keegan's foot on the other side, and everyone just kind of expects it at this point. These aren't easy things to do with. He's hitting the ball over 2 guys' heads on Red Bull, and I get nervous every time he does it, but he does it so effortlessly. He's a special player. I love working with him because he sees the game different. I think he sees the game the right way, and he tries to play out of pressure. He's the key to our possession-based system, and he's playing at a high level right now. And I thought he, like you said, controlled the tempo of the game from the start. And when you're able to pass like he does, it can be demoralizing for Red Bull, who runs and presses, and then he hits a 50, 60-yard ball to the other side of the field, and then they got to run again. So he's a big reason why we're able to wear them down tonight.
Thanks, everybody. We're going to open the locker room up.